And welcome to the Rebel Radio Podcast. This is Mark.
This is Matt.
This is Long.
And welcome. The Rebel Radio Podcast.com for all your Rebel Radio needs. New and improved to an extent. What's got new logos, a new Meet the Podcasters page, new Podcast Adventures page, and a coming soon page for the Rebel Radio Podcast inaugural class of Hall of Fame, which we will be debuting in just a couple of weeks on our 500th episode. That's right. This is episode 499. What a journey to get here, and it's been fun, and we're going to talk all about all that in a couple weeks, the journey to get to this point when we do our 500th episode. But how are you guys?
Great.
Good. I'm not swimming. I know it was supposed to be like some massive flood.
Here goes Matt with his fucking weekly weather report like an old fucking codger.
I thought we were going to be in kayaks recording this shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like I cuss that much, but I guess I cuss enough on the podcast. I noticed Apple Podcasts change our rating from clean to explicit. God dang AI, if you heard me talking and cursing.
What?
Yeah, I saw that the other day. I was looking at.
Screw you, clankers.
Yeah, I saw that on Apple Podcasts.
Clankers.
We're now labeled as explicit. And trust me, we are not explicit if you really want to go find some podcasts out there.
There goes our audience.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I mean, I think we're like TV, like if we're a TV show.
TVMA,
TV,
yeah.
Not even TVMA, like TV 14 and up. I dropped the occasional F-bomb, so fuck it. I'm going to drop like 5 of them today.
Algorithms love drama, so we should turn it to a political podcast now.
Oh, God, no. Put me in fucking sleep. But I'm good too, man. I was telling you just before the show, I felt like one of those weeks where you just kind of dream through life, and that's kind of how I felt this week. But I'm good otherwise. Had fun last weekend. I think me and Long went and hit Geek Collect over at the flea market, picked up a couple of cool things, and then just went to work. And I did watch a couple of movies this week too, which we'll get to in just a little bit. And we're recording this on Friday night. I'm hoping tomorrow to see Toy Story 5. That's my plan, and that should be fun. And kind of looking forward to it, man. I don't know. The ratings for it are very, very good. So I think it should be a fun one. I mean, this series has been great all around. So why would this one be any different? And it's not even been out for a day, and they're already talking about a 6th one. I do think it gets to a point. Yeah, I do think it gets to a point where it's like, let it go.
What you expect?
Yeah. They should take their own Frozen theme song and let it go. But but if it makes money, it makes money. I guess and there's always more money to be made in the world, right? But yeah, so we'll see. It's tracking for a really big opening weekend, so we'll see how it does. Considering the box office has been pretty slow this year, so we got a new Spider-Man trailer.
Saw that.
Yeah. I know in text messages Long said he wasn't excited. I can't say I'm not excited for it, but I do get the underwhelmingness of the trailer. Like it didn't make me like, oh, I can't wait to see it, but I still want to see it because I'm curious as where he's probably the most interesting character since post Endgame and what happened in No Way Home. That I want to see what happens to Peter Parker. If that makes sense,
Yeah. And it looks like, I wouldn't say it's an underwhelming trailer. Like I believe it's going to be a good movie, but I don't think it'll be great. But I hope I'm wrong. Yeah.
Well, you always.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Long.
No, I feel like the last Spider-Man movie was kind of like its end game in a way, because you had like 2 other versions of Peter Parker show up, and the whole theater was really up, cheering for that. And I don't know, it's like after that pretty big installment, how are they going to top that? That's how I feel about it. But I hope it does well. So.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of rumors out there that
boo about it, but yeah, to me, I was like, oh yeah, that Spider-Man was peak, and then I was like, what are they going to do after that?
Right?
And then you see that, so that's why it felt a little underwhelming for me as well. So,
Yeah, and then I feel there's a lot of rumors that is it possible that the X-Men are introduced to Spider-Man from rumors from the trailer, um, which would be an interesting way to introduce some of the X-Men going into Avengers Doomsday. I think it's kind of cool that we're going to get Savage Hulk in this. That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
I feel like with the hand, for the looks of it, being in the movie, that the Daredevil rumors are probably true. So, maybe they're doing like they did with No Way Home, where they didn't show us a lot in the trailers, and the movie went a little bit deeper than we expected it to. And maybe that's what they're going to do here. We'll see, though. I mean, I know my son Michael is very excited about it because he loves the Spider-Man films, and he's looking forward to it. So, yeah, I'm sure it'll be good. It does concern me when they change directors who have had a certain flow and continuity with the other three films, and then now we have a new director for this one. So we'll see how it turns out. But it comes out at the end of July, I believe, like July 31st. So we'll see. A lot of rumors going around about Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad. Apparently, he has a secret role in the Clayface movie, and people are starting to wonder if James Gunn secretly has him cast as Batman in his universe, because James Gunn has thrown hints before that he knows who's playing Batman in the new DC universe. And Aaron Paul's an interesting choice, not someone I would have thought would be a Bruce Wayne Batman. But I kind of like the edginess of the idea of Aaron Paul playing Batman, if it's true.
Jesse?
Yeah.
Too short.
Jesse.
Huh?
Isn't he too short?
Yeah, he seems too small, not intimidating enough. That's my thought. Like, it's not that I don't think he could pull it off, but he just doesn't feel. But Christian Bale was kind of short, and Bale pulled it off. So it'll be interesting.
Robin.
It'll be interesting if it is true that he's playing it. It's just a rumor, but he is in the Clayface movie.
Yeah,
he ain't my Batman. I'd tell you that.
He'd be an older Batman, 46 years old.
Is Aaron Paul that old now? Well, he has a youthful look. So, yeah, that would be a little bit older than it would be expected. So,
I would say late 30s at least.
But, I have the Clayface movie is one thing I don't really have a real interest in. I don't know. And I love Batman. I just, I'm sure I'll watch it, but I don't think I'll go to theaters to see it. I'll just wait till it hits HBO Max.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see him as Batman at all.
No.
So I'm trying to think of a DC Blue Beetle, maybe Ted Cord. It's James Gunn. He'll pick the esoteric.
Well, you've already got Zola or Zolo, and that was the first DC movie.
Officially, unofficially.
Oh, the Solo. Well, there's Ted Cord. That's another Blue Beetle.
Yeah, you could do
the
Ted
original
Cord.
Blue Beetle, or he could be Booster Gold.
Booster Gold. I can see Booster Gold from him.
Or he could be a Green Arrow, a new Green Arrow, or Wally West Flash.
Yeah, I can see Aaron Paul as Oliver Queen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else? He could be Nightwing. I don't know. So we've never had a Nightwing in cinema.
Right.
Yeah, that would be a different way to go on Robin.
Like the grown-up Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, so take it as rumor for now, but that he's in it, or that he's playing a Batman, but he is definitely in the Clayface movie. If you don't have Disney Plus and you feel like watching the first 2 episodes of X-Men 97, you can watch the first 2 episodes on YouTube of season 1. Just a little note to throw out there. That comes out in about a week and a half, season 2. Can't wait, man. That's gonna be awesome.
Nice.
Love season 1. And otherwise, the first reactions to Supergirl are fairly positive. So I guess Warner Bros. Is going to release the embargo 6 days early since they want to get the good word of mouth out, since it's not tracking to do real well. But, the box office, man, it's just down right now. People are waiting for these movies to come out at home because they come out so quickly.
Yeah.
Y'all saw that cup, right? That does look like it's like certain.
It looks like what you want it to look like, Matt.
Yep.
If you have that on your brain and you're gay for it, then that's what it looks like. Okay. Your
It's
chuckle says it all.
Looks like super pee-pee.
I mean, we all see what we want to see. I didn't know Russell Crowe's in the Highlander reboot also.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Really filmed a small role with Henry Cavill. I did not know that. This thing's really happening, man. We're getting a Highlander remake. That's pretty cool. It's actually happening.
Can't wait.
That's all I see for news. Other than this morning, I sent the text y'all with the Chainsaw Man season 2 trailer. It's just music and no release date for it, which is interesting. You would think you have a trailer out, you would know a release date, but the rumor is October, and apparently it's going to be a same day release for America and Japan. So, which is starting to become much more commonplace now than it was a few years ago to get releases on the same day. So that'll be very good for his fans. Unlike the other guy's name that starts with M hasn't bothered to watch it yet.
Yep. Mac.
Yeah. So, Matt, what did you watch this week?
I was playing a lot of Helldivers, so I wanted.
We don't want to
watch...
hear about you team killing. So,
well, no, I'm trying to preface what I watched.
Okay.
So I had to watch the closest thing to Helldivers, and I watched Starship Troopers, and I was just like, taking it all in, just what we got, and we could, if the Helldivers movie doesn't happen, this is all we've got. Michael Ironside, Casper Van Diem, Charlie Sheen's ex, forget her name, Dan crap, I can't think of her name. Denise Richards. I was like, God. Neil Patrick Harris, and I forget the chick's name who played the girl that
Tina Meyer.
Anyway,
Tina Meyer.
An okay movie.
Yo, and here the guy who played Bryan Cranston's brother-in-law in Breaking Bad. He actually makes a cameo in the film. Can't think of it.
An okay movie that has a very strange cult following in Europe. Have you heard about that? Like Starship Troopers is like this massive cult following hit in Europe.
Like I can see it being a guilty pleasure movie.
Yeah, like European countries, like all the animated movies and animated series have all done really well over there.
Wow.
The toys sell for ridiculous amounts of money over there because they couldn't get them here. There's a really weird cult status for Starship Troopers overseas. And because over here it didn't really take off with American audiences. It did okay. I think a lot of that has to do with Robert Heinlein, the author of the original book. I think he was very European based, and the book is very different than the movie was. But
yeah. I like all the propaganda and stuff. It's funny. But yeah, man, I'd check that out. And then there's I watched a little Criminal Minds, just because, she's always watching it. And so it's interesting,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And played of course Helldivers. And then I watched Mortal Kombat 2.
You get me started on that trash.
Because I was like, I wanted to see something, and I was like, let's watch Carl Urban. And I like how he hams it up in the movie,
dude.
It can't be as bad as Annihilation because
it's not as bad as Annihilation, but it's not that great either. I kind of hope Matt does feel semi bad. He spent $25 on that. Could have waited till it hit max because it's definitely could have waited.
Yeah, it wasn't good enough to spend $25.
I didn't like the first one that much, but the first one's pretty good compared to this one.
Yeah, I was just we've been having trouble having like a date night, so I was just like, let's just buy a movie. Well, I was going to rent a movie, but it's like for $5 more you can own it.
No, that I understand.
And so I was like, you might as well own it now. So I was like, all right, let's have a little movie night. I was like, this was the most interesting thing I wanted to see. I wanted to see fighting. And so I saw like a little clip of Johnny Cage versus Baraka.
Well, I watched it too, so I'll go ahead and spoil a little bit of my what I watched this week. But that's my problem with it. Okay, the first movie, all right. Yes, I complained about how Joe Taslim and Hireki said I don't really fight, but there's actually fighting in the movie. This movie, it's all CGI fighting and wire work. There's no real fighting in the movie. It's like you completely undid what you did in the first movie. You also have literally 5 minutes of plot and it goes straight into the tournament.
Yep.
And you're supposed to buy into Johnny Cage right away just because you hired Carla Urban to drop a bunch of one-liners. And he's so uninterested in this movie. You can tell it's a paycheck for Carl Urban. He doesn't give a fuck. He's just saying his lines, dropping one-liners. Hey, I'm getting paid by Warner Bros. To do this. The girl who plays Katana can't act her way out of a shoebox.
No.
Even though she is the coolest fucking scene in the movie at the end.
Yeah.
But yet she can't act worth shit. Her fatality scene at the end is badass. That was great.
Yes.
But her acting was terrible. It was a series of a bunch of quick action scenes thrown together to drive the plot of Mortal Kombat, which is a tournament with no substance to it at all. And then you got the guy who plays Kano dropping a bunch of one-liners like he did in the first movie. But it was not good, man.
Yeah. It was like some cheeky, chuckly humor.
Right.
Like
was it entertaining? Sure.
It was entertaining.
Yeah.
I was entertained. Did I get my $25 worth? No, I don't even think I'll watch it again unless like one of the kids is like, well, I want to watch that. And then it's probably, maybe only for Jake. And
I watched the first one twice because I watched it and I didn't like it that much. I was a little disengaged from it.
Mm-hmm.
And someone had given me a free digital copy. So I watched it again the second time. And I did like it better the second time. Oh, that's another thing. Okay. The guy, the Cole that they created in the first one, the UFC fighter that they created for the movies, doesn't even exist in the Mortal Kombat franchise. People hated on him so much in the first one. What do they do in this one? He did an hour into the movie. Fuck it. We're getting rid of this guy really quickly. It's like fans didn't like him. We're going to kill him off. It's like.
But they did say at the end that they were going to resurrect their Earth's heroes.
Yeah,
and bring it back.
Make a third one. The movie didn't make very much money, so I don't know if there'll be a third one.
Yeah,
it went streaming very quickly. And I wasn't trying to take away your thunder for what you watched, but I had 2 cents there, man. It was disappointing. There's a few cool moments, like having Noob Saibot in the movie, which is a deep cut Mortal Kombat character, was kind of cool.
Like whenever they have to destroy the amulet and they're over a bunch of fire. And Kano's like, "Wow, no, read the instructions on the back." And, Carl Urban's like, "Okay, one ring to rule them all." And I was like, "Okay, nice."
No, Kano and Carl Urban had a couple of good moments, and then whoever was behind the Baraka character, his moments with Carl, those couple of moments were okay. I didn't mind those. Like that humor worked, but there were times where Carl Urban's just dropping one-liners to drop one-liners. It's just like, no, man, shut up. And then he literally learns how to fight because she tells him, "You're an actor, so go act." Okay, I'm going to act like I can fight. Like, wait, what? He just all of a sudden starts martial arting because he knows how to act. It was kind of cheesy.
Well, he won 5 world tournaments, so that's his background.
And I swear he called himself incredibly handsome about 10 times in the fucking movie.
He's like, "What? You don't have any powers?" And he's like, "Just incredibly handsome."
And I love Carl Urban, man, but I think my thing is too, like, I think him being 54 years old, it's hard to buy him as Johnny Cage,
Yeah, that's a weird cast.
They've been younger. Yeah.
Yeah. I've always thought that was like sometimes you could tell by a movie's quality by how it's casted.
Right. I guess they couldn't spend the money for Ryan Reynolds to go for a.
Thank God they didn't. It wouldn't have been any better.
He's even older than Carl Urban, though.
Is he?
Might be around the same age.
I thought he was mid 40s or late 40s.
Yeah, I don't think Ryan Reynolds is 50. I want to say Ryan Reynolds is like around my age.
Is Ryan Reynolds
49?
Yeah, he's the same age as me. That's what I thought. I thought Ryan Reynolds was the same age as me.
Okay.
October 23rd, 1976.
Still too old to be
right,
Johnny Cage. So,
like, I feel like Johnny Cage would be like a mid-30s actor who's had some Hollywood success because he's an actor in the show, and then his success starts to wane, and that's why he joins the tournament. And that's
Johnny Cage is because Van Damme is kind of an inspiration for that character, isn't he?
Right.
Yeah, the split punch and all that.
Like in the 95 Mortal Kombat, the actor they had play him, he looked the part of Johnny Cage.
Yeah,
he did.
The 95 Mortal Kombat is still the GOAT when it comes to those Mortal Kombat movies. Yeah.
I agree.
Practical effects.
Yeah.
But yeah. What did you? Are you done, Matt?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, Mark. What did you watch?
Besides Mortal Kombat, I did watch Michael.
Saw
it's pretty. The
John Travolta movie?
No, not the John Travolta movie. The Michael Jackson biopic.
Oh, okay.
And it's
John Travolta movie.
It's
There is a John Travolta movie.
There is a John Travolta movie.
He's an angel.
He's an angel that drinks. Yeah,
okay. I had to make sure.
It's okay. Here's my thing with it. I know it's made a lot of money, especially overseas. It's done extremely well. It's done well in the U.S. too. I think like $360 million. Because Michael Jackson is, arguably the most popular entertainer of all time. But the biopic is pretty paint by numbers. It goes into his early days and how he got successful, and it ends when the bad tour begins. So it doesn't go into the controversy, and that's fine. It doesn't need to. Because my quick belief in Michael Jackson is I've always, going back to when I was in high school, I never believed that he did the things he did because I was educated about who Michael Jackson was. I knew that he was a guy who was very childlike. He liked to entertain people. And there's been enough evidence from his security guards, from Macaulay Culkin, other kids that knew him, that none of this stuff happened. I truly do believe it was just people looking to make money off of him because he was worth a lot. And that's how I choose to believe in Michael Jackson. And so I don't think they need to go into controversies. But as far as the movie goes, it is pretty paint by numbers. It showcases the music a lot. Jafar Jackson is he's Michael's nephew in real life. He's Tito Jackson's son, and he's great in the role. And he's likely an Oscar nomination, possibly a win. My only beef with him is he looks like Tito. He doesn't look like Michael, but yet he gets Michael's mannerisms very well, and he sounds like him, and he does a really good job. So hats off to him. Michael would be very proud of his nephew and what he did.
I don't even know what Tito looks like, to be fair.
You know him if you saw him. He's arguably the most popular brother, so you would know him if you saw him next to.
I thought it was Jermaine.
Jermaine and Tito both. Those two are pretty equally popular.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah. And so you would know him if you saw him. But it was good, man. It's a good biopic. It's definitely worth the watch. I mean, especially you grew up, in the era of Michael Jackson like we did. And exciting music scenes, well directed by Antoine Fuqua, who's known for he directed Training Day and a few mostly action movies. He does a great job with the source material. But it was definitely an enjoyable movie. But highly I definitely recommend it. If you've ever listened to Michael Jackson or appreciate him, it's worth the watch. As far as most recent biopics are really popular, I think I like Bohemian Rhapsody better. I think it was a better biopic than this, but Michael's still really well done. And I finished the Hulk Hogan documentary. So good. Definitely worth a watch. And episode 4, man, gets a little emotional because it definitely goes into his death and all that. And just realize how much Hulk Hogan meant to me and appreciating wrestling, despite his imperfections he had as a man. I think he still was very inspiring for what he did, and definitely a very good documentary. If you're a wrestling fan, you got to watch the Hulk Hogan documentary on Netflix. It's so good.
Touch on his stint in New Japan?
I think he mentions it in passing that he went to New Japan, but mostly they spent a little time when he went to TNA and stuff. But he did mention going to Japan. So
there's been some really good matches. Like you see Hulk Hogan. Whoa, he's chain wrestling. What the hell? He never did that on American television. There's like him versus the Great Muta, and it's like Hulk Hogan's like doing really technical wrestling moves and stuff like that, and he actually went on like the press conference just working the crowd up and saying, the IWGP title is the best wrestling title in the world,
Right.
That's in this that's something you don't really, it's a pretty it should be mentioned more, because he's part of that New Japan history,
But
for about a year or two. So
yeah,
he
no, it's
brought
very
some,
good.
yeah.
And then I've been the only thing I watched was old X-Men episodes from the animated series. Been watching some of those, kind of getting ready for 97, and then I've been watching the old Witchblade anime on Amazon Prime. I don't know why. It's not very good, but it's kind of good. And it's got a bunch of hot chicks in it. So, yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was always kind of mediocre.
Yeah, it's kind of mediocre. It's not terrible. It's got some great action in it, but the story wise, it's like it's one of those animes where you don't really care anything about the story. You just want to get to the action scenes.
Yeah.
But I was just kind of watching some of it out of curiosity mostly. But yeah, I think that's really all I watched. So I did get a couple movies in this week, which is a lot more than usual. So.
Yeah, that's good. The only thing I've done is I finally beat Diablo 4's expansion story. Finally, I'm finally out of that jail.
As what character? Were you Paladin?
I was playing Warlock. Warlock. They released 2 new classes in the latest expansion, Paladin and Warlock, and both are fun. But I prefer Paladin more. And beaten that. And I watched, since World Cup time, I just watched a whole ton of social media videos of just, FIFA fans just trying out American cuisine like barbecue and Whataburger, In-N-Out, Chick-fil-A, stuff that you don't see over there in their own countries. And there's a link I sent on text messaging. I don't know if you guys had a chance to read through all that of like World Cup fans. What is your, first impressions of America so far? And it's a really good thread. It has like 9,000 replies to it from the World Cup fans, and one is like Americans are a lot friendlier in person than they are on social media as one. 2, free refills is like, what? You get free refills here. 3, public restrooms. What? It's like what was it? And just little things that we take for granted here. And like how easy it is to strike a conversation with Americans, because they're just pretty friendly and just talk to any of them. They'll just talk right back. They don't not standoffish like their own countrymen are back home. Yeah, so really, really cool things and experiences that kind of reflect back on us, because it's been so negative lately, of course. And it's always good to see a fresh perspective.
Yeah.
From people who are visiting our country and us hosting them and giving them our hospitality and stuff.
Restoring faith in humanity.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, that's about it on my end. I mean, started playing Final Fantasy 14, trying to get back into that, catch up on the story on that, and playing Balatro. So, Matt, did you like that game when you played it for a little bit?
That was the poker game, right?
Yeah.
I actually like that. That was a good game.
Yeah. It's did you ever look for it on Game Pass?
I didn't. I forgot.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was available on Game Pass or not. So,
I'll have to look.
All I know is Matt has a couple weeks to a 500th episode, and I can forgive him for not finishing Babylon 5 because it's like 120 episodes, but he better get some Chainsaw Man watched. No excuses.
No excuses.
It's such an easy watch. I mean, I know you're a guy I know who blew through 8 episodes of Daredevil in a day, and those are an hour each.
Matt, if you can sit through Bridges of Madison County, I'm sure you can instill Magnolias and
or Criminal Minds, for fuck's sake.
Criminal Minds.
Or what was that one he watched? Pretty Little Liars that one time you mentioned on the podcast, and I almost Almost had to fire him right then. No, I was kidding.
That was a long time ago.
It was. But I remember that was Frank was on that episode. Even Frank's jaw dropped. Like, wait, you watched what? It's like,
Yep.
and this comes from a motherfucker that watches Downtown Abbey, and he called you out on that. Oh.
But anyways, yeah. Okay, so
yeah, let's get into today's featured film.
Enough waffling.
A movie from Clint Eastwood. This is not his directorial debut, right? It's his second movie.
It's his second.
Yeah, his first Western, because he had done a lot of spaghetti Westerns and worked with a lot of different directors, and he wanted to try his own hand at the genre that made him famous, and he wanted to also pay a bit of homage to Sergio Leone and the people that made him famous for doing this movie. So he makes this movie in 1974, I believe, or 73, and that is High Plains Drifter. Matt, I feel like you haven't summarized lately, so give us a summary of this movie.
Yeah. So after a town kills their own sheriff, a stranger comes riding through their town on a pale horse, takes down a couple of badasses, and they decide, hey, this guy might be good enough to kill these three guys that are going to bust out of prison and come through the town and kill us all. So they give him whatever the hell he wants. He makes some pretty outrageous demands, makes the midget a sheriff and the mayor, and gives him a big ass gun that is bigger than him, paints the whole town red, has his way with a couple women. And whenever the guys come in,
that's an understatement.
Yeah. He eventually does his, I'm just oversimplifying it. We'll get into it. But the guys show up after he lets them take out a few people that probably should have been taken out to give them their just due. He kills them, shoots them dead, hangs them, whips them, beats them brutally. He's a savage scoundrel. Definitely a different side of Clint Eastwood that I've seen. But and then he rides off. He leaves and leaves the town to the midget sheriff and mayor, and the bumbling previous sheriff is now his lackey. But it's that simple. He's commissioned to save the town, and he does save the town in a way, but he's kind of despicable in the film. Not too much a hero, really, but I guess kind of is, because the townspeople are like corrupt. They found a mine, and it belonged to the government, but when the sheriff was going to turn him in, they ended up killing him. And I was like, man, this guy, Clint Eastwood's got to be like, like the ghost, like a ghost of the sheriff, right? And it was sort of meant to be like that. It's supposed to be ambiguous. And I read that Clint Eastwood originally wrote this role to be the former sheriff's brother coming back into town, but it's more ambiguous, and it's kind of cool that way,
right? Because he didn't want it to be another, because there were so many Western revenge flicks. He didn't want it to be just another revenge flick. Yeah.
But yeah, he rapes the girl at the barn, and I'm just like, whoa, is Clint Eastwood doing this like on screen? And then it's weird because the girl's like, oh, actually, this is kind of nice. And then for like,
she's a
5 seconds. Yeah. And then later she's like, you, and tries to shoot him while he's taking a bath. And I don't know how she misses him. But and then, he invites her over for dinner later, and she's coming back to him. So I guess like she liked it. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I'm like, what is this?
It's definitely the first time I saw this, I definitely thought like, okay, this is not the Clint Eastwood I'm used to watching, because I had seen, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and Outlaw Jesse Wales and Pale Rider, and I'm like, okay, this is not our usual Clint. It's definitely a darker version, and it's almost like it almost feels like it's supposed to almost be like a dark comedy in a way, because there's bizarre characters. There's like you said, the chick who keeps coming back for his penis, even though he used it against her.
Yeah.
And then the girl's friend, she wants some too, and he gives her some as well.
Yeah.
It's just like he's just spreading his seed all around this town. It's a little weird in the way it plays out on that.
And then the hotel lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I meant. The hotel lady was our friend or whatever. And then it has like this midget, and then it's a definitely, one thing I give it credit for is he shot this on a side near the lake, right? It's near a lakefront, because he thought it made for a different. He made for a different scenery than your typical Western desert, and I do think it gives the film an interesting look to be filmed off the water instead of your usual desert town, because it is eye catching because of that. But yeah, it is definitely, if you've never seen this before, you watch it, you're like, okay, this is not what I expected to be for a Western. It definitely has some homages to spaghetti Westerns. There's certain cinematic shots and things he does with the cameras that are definitely pay credit to those that he came up with, and which is cool. But it's also not a spaghetti Western either. It's definitely a different feel to it. And it's weird because it's like a Western, but it's not, because it's so dark. If that makes sense. But I know Long, man, he texted us some things, and he's itching at the bits to talk about this movie, man, that he had never seen before, and until now.
Yeah. I don't like the movie, and it just doesn't make sense to me. And I guess it's because he's an anti-hero, and I guess it's his first anti-hero role or something, because you're not really rooting for him. I mean, it's not a weird movie. It's a terrible movie. If we want to get out of the neutral ground a little bit, if I want to get out of the neutral platitudes about it. There was a 5-minute long death scene that took too long. You kept hearing the bullwhip for 5 minutes. It's like, okay, we get the point. The death scene of the sheriff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what bugged me about it is that the actor who plays Stacy, the main villain of the trio that was going to ride into town, played by Jonathan Lewis, I believe, a familiar face in a bunch of Clint Eastwood movies. The thing that I wanted to see is like, okay, he's a guy who like whipped the previous sheriff to death, right? And he has the most anticlimactic death in the whole movie. He gets shot to death real quick, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
One of his henchmen or his or whatever, his crony was the one that got whipped to death by Clint Eastwood's character. Right. I was like, okay, they're whipping the wrong character here. I'm like, why? It's like, the crony died. Yeah. Okay. He's despicable, but he should have been the one that had a quick death, and the whipping death should have been reserved for Stacy. That would have been more satisfying for me. I didn't. So to me, that whole scene felt anticlimactic. Death of the main villain. Couldn't really get past the scene where the rape scene. Not because it was the rape scene itself, but that's pretty despicable. But I didn't really like the character afterwards, so I'm like, okay, well, am I supposed to keep rooting for the guy for the rest of the movie? What didn't make sense is this lady just comes out. It starts off weird too, leading into it. It's like this blonde lady. She starts screaming and yelling at him, even though he killed
shit for no reason.
Just for no reason, And I didn't really quite understand why she did that. And I was kind of seeing an explanation. Maybe I missed it somehow in the middle of the movie. Was she a previous? Was she a lover to one of the henchmen, or to one of the trio that was riding into town? Because it seemed like she had a history with Stacy. Or I don't know. But that scene where in the hotel, where the hotel matron was like, "Oh, you're not going to do that to me," and then of course, Clint Eastwood's character says, "So don't oversell yourself or whatever." What is how did he put it? Don't over. I don't know.
He says something like that.
Yeah, and it was like I remember watching those old classic movies where a woman doesn't want to be kissed, and she pushes them away, resists, and then they start kissing again. It's like such an old movie cliche, and I was like, I always thought that was kind of amusing that, oh yeah, it's a movie of its time, so whatever, I'll excuse it. But, anyways, I don't know. It was just to me, it's a weird Western altogether, where just things just didn't make sense. Why did he paint the town red? I know it's a figure of speech. Was that from this movie? Is like we're going to paint the town red, or has that expression started from this movie? If you guys could shed that light on me, or was that they just painted the town red? I figured that's a figure of speech of, hey, there's going to be blood all over the place,
Right.
So the soundtrack, I hated the soundtrack. The music was jarring and it made me irritable. And I guess it was trying to make it a mysterious sound, So the music was annoying to me. It was a lot of screechy violins, and it's like that's one of the things that also took me out of the movie too. So overall, my experience in it was not as. I guess I don't have any kind of a nostalgic attachment, like you do, Mark.
Well, I don't think I have nostalgic attachment. I just think I looked at it a little differently.
Yeah.
I think I view it as like, I definitely, you make good points. Like it always has bothered me the few times I've seen this, like why is the town so afraid of these henchmen? It's like, you're able to kill a sheriff in which the town hid their secret, but you can't take out these three guys. It always felt like it feels like this was one of those movies that there are some scenes that could be missing.
Yeah.
And I do, and Eastwood's character is despicable. It's like, you're right. You can't root for him. It's definitely different. But I think the movie tries to do something different than other Westerns. So I think that's what makes it kind of unique in that extent. This also came out of an era in which, we had just came off The Wild Bunch a couple of years earlier, which was considered one of the most violent movies ever made at that time. And The Wild Bunch completely changed how Westerns were looked at, because it was, and The Wild Bunch is still a much more straightforward Western than even this is, but yet it's pretty extreme for a Western film. So I think this maybe was trying to follow up in that era, I think, to an extent. Like Eastwood's thinking like, oh, look, I can make something dark and violent too if The Wild Bunch can do it.
The 70s broke a lot of classic Hollywood rules.
But The Wild Bunch is a much better movie than this. I will give it that. But I do think that this is an okay Western. It's not my favorite by any means. I mean, give me his Man with No Name trilogy any day of the week over this. But I think this is an interesting movie. I think it's well shot for a second-time director. I mean, you definitely see the seeds of where Eastwood would go in his career later, becoming one of our great film directors. He definitely had an eye for the camera even back then.
Wake up, Matt. You're nodding off.
Again, you're right. Is like ambiguous or not. And that was not really something that was common for films back then, to be ambiguous.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to have a little more explanations, like why he would go through his trouble to help these people, especially after he finds out their secret. He might as well be like, fuck y'all, I'm leaving,
As a side note, I didn't like The Wild Bunch either.
Oh, I don't know how you don't like that movie. So
it's all right. I thought, to me, going into it, I understood its importance in film history. But when I finally watched it, I'm like, maybe it's because I'm so desensitized with modern movie violence.
Well, right. The violence, sure.
Yeah. But I didn't like any of the characters in there except for maybe William Holden's character.
Holden. But the final scene of that film is one of the great movie scenes of all time, though, where they're trying to get away and the big, huge shootout. So you got to give some credit for that at least.
Yeah. A little bit.
But
I'll give it that.
I don't love High Plains Drifter, but I don't think I'm nostalgically attached to it. But I can appreciate it for what it did at the time. I think I agree. Pacing can be an issue with it. There's a few things you could have maybe cut out and changed a couple of things.
Matt.
I don't know if it happened in the editing room. Huh?
Sorry. Go ahead.
Matt falling asleep?
No, I'm up.
Oh, okay. I'm going to screenshot you next time you do that and post it on our social media.
Screenshot.
That's right. Screenshot, man.
Only if it's while we're recording.
You were drooping, Matt.
A little bit of drool going down there, bro. Matt, what do you summarize it? What are your overall thoughts on this?
Yeah.
movie?
Did you like it, hate it, neutral?
So I enjoyed it. I will say I enjoyed it, but it did take me out of what I would normally expect from Clint Eastwood.
You do tend to lean towards sometimes darker movies too. You tend to see the side that they're trying to do in movies like this.
Right. And Clint Eastwood, he's doing it all for the I felt like he was doing it all for the wrong reasons. And he's just like, I felt like he was just being a complete asshole, but like in a good way. Like this little guy was being picked on, and he was just like, oh yeah, well now this guy's your boss. Fuck you guys.
Right. It almost feels like he has this dark sense of humor. Like he's doing all this as like a fuck you to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, there's no charge, whatever you want. And it's the general store. And he's like, you know what, kids, take the candy. You want an old person, take the blankets for your family. And then they're like, all right. And it's like, he's being an asshole, but it's like, he is like doing some good. And then it's like, so his character is very chaotic. But he is like Long says, an anti-hero. He's got a little bit of both. So it's definitely different. It's definitely weird. Out of character for him. But I like that he uses dynamite a lot here. He's like, all right, I'm gonna blow your asses up. He's just like, he's very, generous with the dynamite in his fights. It's like, he doesn't care about, he's going in, he's getting like all the saddles he wants. He's getting the boots that he wants. He's getting everything that he wants, cigars, like a shit ton of cigars. And he's just, all right, everything's free. Whoop, fucking 20 of these. And then he's like, I want drinks for all these people. And then it's free. And he screws the bartender. But yeah, it's definitely a different character of his. I don't think it's my favorite interpretation of his, but I can appreciate some of the things this character does, even though he does have, some faults in his character, or his character has faults.
Well, let me ask y'all both this. Have y'all seen Pale Rider?
I haven't.
Well, Mark, you've seen Pale Rider. Which one's better, High Plains Drifter or Pale Rider?
I'm trying to remember. I have seen Pale Rider. I'm just trying to remember. It's probably Pale Rider. Yeah. I think it's more accessible.
Yeah. It kind of makes me want to watch that movie because I've read some online commentary on it that Pale Rider is a more interesting movie, and I'm kind of curious. I might check it out. So anyways,
I had to read the synopsis real quick to refresh my memory. But no, Pale Rider is definitely, I think, a better movie. Yeah. I lost my train of thought. But
score it, I guess.
I had something else I was going to say, but I was trying to remember.
Our favorite Westerns.
Oh, no. And by the way, people over the years, Blu-ray synopses and things have tried to tie this movie to the Man with No Name trilogy. And it's not the same character. Clint Eastwood himself has said it. It's meant to be the only same. He has the same hat. And that's only because Clint kept the hat because he liked the way it fit his head. So it is the same hat from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And that's the only thing connected. And Eastwood even said himself over the years, maybe I should have not worn the hat. But he goes, but I like the hat. But that's really the only connection to the movie. And he did that in another one. I can't remember if it was maybe it's in Pale Rider where he uses the poncho from The Good, Bad, and the Ugly Because
Okay.
it's just something that, to maybe make a slight connection to characters he played. I can't remember if it's Pale Rider or not. But I think there's another movie where he uses the poncho.
I know, Long, you saw, your opinion is the same as John Wayne's, because in this film, he reached out to John Wayne after the film was made and asked if he would be interested in collaborating. Right. And John Wayne expressed his disgust with the film and was like, "Fuck no, I ain't working with you." And yes, John Wayne did not like what Clint Eastwood made, and his perversion of the Western.
And I think their history went a little further back, anyways, because John Wayne was not happy that this Clint Eastwood guy is going to work with all those Italians instead of making movies with Americans, and John Wayne was always complaining about that.
Yeah.
And because John Wayne was a spoiled brat, he didn't like spotlight being taken from him. Yeah. Oh, there's someone else who can make great Westerns. Fuck this guy, So let's just tell it how it is.
Yeah. This is true.
He was even more conservative than Clint Eastwood was back in the day, too.
Yeah.
So basically skirting the territory of white supremacists. So
yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, like I said, I'm not nostalgically attached to the movie. I don't think it's great or perfect, but I think it's, for the things it tries to do and the performances and the set pieces, I think it earns a B for me.
Matt.
Yeah, solid B.
Yeah,
okay. That's fair. It's definitely not an A for me.
Yeah,
not even an A minus.
Yeah, I give it a D plus. So that's just me.
But fair enough. I mean, but yeah, I love the Western genre. I was looking around, my movie picks coming up, and
I actually put some thought in this because I remember the top 5 since the beginning of the week.
Mm-hmm.
And
I can start first if you want.
We can talk some of our favorite Westerns. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Long.
My number 5 Western has to be, and it's kind of a deep cut, but it's called The Valley of Gwangi. Matt, you ever heard of this movie?
No.
The Valley of Gwangi. It's a Western with Ray Harryhausen effects, where a bunch of cowboys explore this mysterious canyon, and they happen upon a little Allosaurus, a big Allosaurus.
Huh.
And they harangue this dinosaur from this mysterious valley, Valley of Gwangi, and basically showcase him off like a circus, like a Western show. So cowboys and dinosaurs, literally. Unforgettable movie, but not a good movie. But as a kid, it's like, whoa, cowboys and dinosaurs, awesome. So yeah,
I've never seen it, but I have heard of it, and there's been a lot of talks about a remake of that movie. But I think the problem is the Western genre is just not what it used to be. But I have heard about rumors of a remake of that movie.
Who wants to go next?
I'm gonna go with The Quick and the Dead, and I went for entertainment value.
Actually.
Yeah. It may not be the best Western. Maybe it doesn't belong in the top 5, but I was very entertained by it, and I like the stylization of it all.
It's a good movie. I mean, objectively, it's a good movie. I mean, it's well directed, technically well made, great characters. Gene Hackman was just fantastic in that movie.
I love him. Yeah.
Yeah. Gene Hackman.
Leo DiCaprio.
I love his death scene,
Yes.
Especially if you were a Leo hater like me back in the day. It's like, oh, yeah, I'll rewind that scene. Watch him die 5 more times. Can't stand him.
So young in that film.
Russell Crowe was great in his earlier movie role. Sharon Stone. Can't go wrong with that. Yeah. One of the few movies where she didn't really show any skin. So I don't remember any nudity.
Keith David, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Keith David. Lance Henriksen.
Yeah, Lance Henriksen.
So, yeah, the wild camera angles and stuff like that. Sam Raimi fans who've never seen the movie really appreciates this movie even more since they never got a chance to see it when it came out. So, it's one of those cult movies. Mark?
At number 5, I'll go with The Magnificent Seven, the original, of course, not the remake with Chris Pratt.
Didn't like that one.
It's such an influential film. I mean, and it's a really good movie, to be fair. I mean, it's really well done. And I know its influence is from Seven Samurai, of course, which is funny because nowadays when this story is told where, a town is saved by a group of men, they always mention the Magnificent Seven as the influence, which I always thought was strange. It's like, well, what about Seven Samurai? And it's like, don't forget that movie because that's kind of what started it. But the Magnificent Seven is basically a remake of Seven Samurai, but such a great remake, but it works because it works in two completely different genres, the samurai genre and the Western genre, and they're both really good movies, and both very important places in history. It's in the history of film as well.
Let's see, you had Steve McQueen in one of his early roles. Charles Bronson in one of his early roles.
Yeah.
Robert Vaughn, James Coburn, Eli Wallach, of course, great villain. Who was alongside Steve McQueen's character, the second lead? Do you remember?
Shit, I'm trying to remember. I just had it right in front of me. Hold on, right here. It was Yuli Brynner, Eli Wallach, Steve McQueen.
Oh yeah, that's right, Yul Brynner.
Horst Buchholz, who was in a lot of westerns too. Yeah. Charles Bronson, Robert Vaughn, Brad Dexter, James Coburn. Then a bunch of. Then it gets out of the main cast after that.
Right.
So yeah.
So yeah, Magnificent Seven. My number 4 is actually Back to the Future Part 3.
Oh, that's such a cheap Western.
I like
even
it.
Think about that. Yeah.
I like it. I just like the Doc Brown being in it, and it has horses, it has guns, it has some of the funny 80s references that went over the heads of the locals. Marty McFly calling himself Clint Eastwood.
What kind of wussy name is that?
No, he said, what kind of a stupid name is that?
Oh, stupid name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Biff.
Yeah. And it's Back to the Future Part 3 for me. So
I'm going to go something more modern, and I'm going to say 3:10 to Yuma. Actually, I really like that film.
Which version?
The Christian Bale and Russell Crowe version. And Ben, what's his last name?
Ben Foster.
Ben Foster, yeah, Ben Foster from Hell or High Water.
That dude is such a good actor, but just never really got his huge break.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I like the film. I like the action. I like the theme, and Christian Bale struggling to, make sure that he is respected and sets a good example for his kid, and to save his ranch, save his little ranch.
And number 4, this is probably the most modern film I have on here, and that's Open Range with Kevin Costner and Robert Duvall.
Nice.
Which we strangely haven't done on the podcast. And when I was doing research for this episode, I came across it. And I think it's actually streaming right now. Might try to take advantage of that while it's streaming because it's such a great film. Costner directed it, a lot of passion behind the film, and Duvall gives such a great performance in it. Young Diego Luna is in it before he made Star Wars, and really, really well done film. I saw that movie in theaters and just walked out going, wow, man, it's a slow burn movie. Like all the action happens at the end of the movie, but when it gets to the action, though, it's the payoff of it's so good. But Open Range, man, what a movie that is.
Yeah, that kind of I want to add the kind of makes me want to watch Silverado. And I heard that was a great modern Western.
Yeah, it's decent.
Yeah.
We did on the show. It's good. I don't know if it holds up as well as some, but it's still an entertaining movie.
Yeah. Well, speaking of 80s Westerns, I have to put Young Guns. I don't know why it left an impression on me, but I've always liked the loose retelling of Billy the Kid's the notoriety. played by Emilio Estevez.
Yes, but there are
Sutherland.
some historians that think it's actually closer to some other movies that have been made as far as his tale. Yeah.
Yeah. Lou Diamond Phillips.
Peter Sutherland.
I already mentioned him. Yeah. But yeah, Young Guns. I think it's a semi revenge story as well, because they were hired to regulate a ranch or whatever, and their boss got killed, so they kind of went on a revenge to find the killers.
I love it. I mean, it's not my top 5, not because I don't love it, just mostly because this genre is so full of great films. It's hard to just fit in 5. But Young Guns is a lot of fun.
Yeah. So yeah, I put Young Guns because I was obsessed with this movie as a kid back in the day. So yeah, very obsessed. Don't know why. But yeah, that's my number 3, Young Guns. Didn't like the second one as much.
Yeah. I'm gonna go another modern, and I'm gonna go with True Grit 2010.
Oh yeah, that's a great one. I love that one. It's more faithful to the book, right?
I believe so. And Rooster played by Jeff Bridges, and a young Haley Steinfeld. Yeah,
Steinfeld. Yeah, very successful career in music as well, because apparently she's a good singer.
Well, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
No, she's always seemed to be a good actress.
Yeah,
not knocking it out of the park, but she plays her roles well.
Oh, she knocked it out of the park, man. That was
this one. Yeah,
she was quite the firecracker in this film.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to take away from the original actress who played that character either.
Mm-hmm.
But
I like it. They'll love it.
Yeah,
the remake.
The cinematography was great. I still rewatch it from time to time. I've never seen the John Wayne version.
I have.
That won him an Oscar. So I liked it. It's a good Coen's brother movie too, which is atypical. But I did like some of the humor in it, and how unusual. What was it? Who played Thanos again? What was his name?
Josh Brolin.
Yeah, Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin was a stupid character in that film.
Yeah.
Played him very well. He played stupid very well. So,
my next 3 movies could all be my number ones. Also, could all make my top 25 movies of all time kind of list. So at number 3, I'm going to throw out The Last of the Mohicans. Yes, it's not your standard way; it's a frontier western, but one of my all-time favorite movies. I will watch this if I come across on TV. Not that any of us do a lot of regular TV watching anymore. But I love the movie so much. I think Last Mohicans is up there being almost a perfect movie, directed by Michael Mann with Daniel Day-Lewis. Great musical score, great moments in this movie. No matter what, I will find you. I mean, it's just a fantastic film, man. I love The Last Mohicans. It's one of those movies that if they ever remake it, I'll be pissed off. Don't remake that movie. It's perfect how it is.
Exactly. Remake a bad movie,
Yeah, Last Mohicans is so good. It doesn't need to be remade ever.
I kind of have to cheat a little bit here because I kind of have 3 movies. But my number 2 spot, I would just fire them off. Magnificent Seven, Once Upon a Time in the Old West, and actually John Wayne's Stagecoach. I loved all 3 of them. But Stagecoach, for an old Western by John Ford and John Wayne's breakout role, I thought it was a very good movie. 4 characters of different backgrounds. Basically, it's a simple movie. Trying to reach their destination.
Yep.
Trying to overcome obstacles and stuff. Great movie. It's a classic, and it still holds up in my opinion. But if you ever get a chance, check out Stagecoach.
No, it's very good. I've seen it.
Sergio Leone's Once Upon a Time in the Old West. I think this is peak Sergio Leone as far as westerns are concerned. I love the Dollar Trilogy, don't get me wrong, but there's just something, the way he shot this movie, the music, freaking Henry Fonda is the main villain. little slow, but the twist at the end I really liked. It really pays it all off with Charles Bronson's character. But yeah, and I don't really need to go over Magnificent Seven, really. It's been mentioned earlier. So that's my number 2. Go ahead, Matt. What's your number 2?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Good, Bad, and the Ugly, number 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I do like it. It's drawn out. It's long. It feels like it goes on forever. But it's got one of the greatest duels in Western history.
I feel like for a few dollars more, for me, I prefer it over Good, Bad, and the Ugly because it's much more straightforward, more accessible to me.
I like the humor too in that one. Just
the humor.
That's the one where he's like the horse. It's like, you see, my horse, he's upset. He didn't understand that you were laughing.
That kind of reminds me of the opening scene in Once Upon a Time in the Old West, where what was it the 3 hitmen were trying to kill Charles Bronson character.
Yeah,
it was like we only brought 3 horses, and then Charles Bronson says there's one too many, or something like that, or there's 2 too many.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your number 2, Mark?
Tombstone.
Oh, really? Number 2.
I love Tombstone. I mean, it made an impression on me when I saw it when I was about 17 years old or whatever. I might have told this story before. My first time I saw Tombstone, I was in Boy Scouts, and we were somewhere. I can't remember where we were camping, and it was like a group event, so there were other troops there. And they showed us Tombstone. They set up a big screen at the site, and they showed it on a projector. So you're sitting in the woods at night watching the story of Wyatt Earp unfold, and it was like a perfect setting to see this movie. It just made sense to be out in the woods watching this. And that was the first time I ever saw Tombstone, and I fell in love with it. And I think Kurt Russell's performance is great. Everyone in this movie gets great performances. What's the bad guy from Avatar? He's in it. Stephen Lang with a good performance.
Yeah, Stephen Lang.
Of course, the great Sam Elliott, and Bill Paxton. Tombstone's one of my. I mean, I know there's Gunfight at the OK Corral is also a great telling of the OK Corral shootout with Wyatt Earp as well. But this is such a good movie. I don't really care too much for the Kevin Costner one because it's just too long and too self-absorbed, I guess. But it's not bad. But it's just like it's not Tombstone. Tombstone's such a classic.
Yeah. Well, my number 1 is Tombstone.
There you
go. Same here.
And like I said, it could be my number 1.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just throw out my number 1. If y'all's number 1 is Tombstone, my number 1 is Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Okay.
I love the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I think it's the most epic Western I've watched. I agree with everything you said about Once Upon a Time in the West. I like it too. But there's something about Good, the Bad, and the Ugly that stuck with me. Especially the duel at the end of the film. And everything. And Eli Wallach's amazing performance in Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I mean, you can almost argue he makes the movie more than Clint Eastwood does, So I love the Good, the Bad.
He's a scene stealer. But yeah, Tombstone for me, I like how the famous shootout was the middle of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You figure it'd be like other movies about the shootout would be at the end usually.
Yeah, it's unique in that fashion.
Right. And then the characters are so well crafted. Kurt Russell was so effortless in this movie.
Yeah.
As well as of course Val Kilmer and Michael Biehn. Powers Booth. Stephen Lang as well, as you mentioned.
Oh yeah. I mean the charisma that Michael Biehn and Val Kilmer have with each other and playing off their roles against each other.
Yeah. Michael Biehn has his own podcast, you know that?
Oh really?
No. Yeah, and he goes into detail of what it was like to work with Val Kilmer. And he had an interview with Stephen Lang as well, an hour-long interview. They're just talking about
that.
I didn't know Stephen Lang played Babe Ruth. So
oh, really? I didn't know either.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, Matt, what's your number 1?
He said
both of ours were Tombstone.
Oh, we're tied? Okay.
Yeah, that's why he said.
That's why you let me talk so you can nod off, huh?
No. No, I'm avoiding that screenshot.
The Western genre is such a great genre. I know why Hollywood doesn't make them as much anymore, because they're not as profitable, and there's been so many made, but every year one or two come out still, and I think it takes us back to a different time in our world that we can escape to, and I really like the genre a lot. There's so many great films in the genre too. And, and all of us had good lists. They all could be number one movies easily. Any of those we picked. So that's what makes it such a great genre. But yeah, man, good top fives. All right. So before we get out of here, we are going to take a little break for a week to prepare for our massive 500th episode, which we're going to bring to you the weekend of July 4th. Probably that Monday after the 4th, it'll be out or around there. So look forward to that. If you're on our Facebook page, we have a poll right now for our fan pick movie for Hall of Fame is between The Raid Redemption and A Few Dollars More, because those are our two most popular episodes that you guys have listened to. So you get to pick between those two for the first fan vote for the year. And in 2 weeks, there's no movie in 2 weeks for the 500th episode, but the big feature of the episode will be our 2026 inaugural class of the Rebel Radio Podcast Hall of Fame. So we are looking forward to that, and I think it's going to be fun. There might be some tears. There might be some arguing over what should be in the Hall of Fame, but I think it's going to be pretty fun overall. There won't be any punches thrown, though. We will be civil.
No punches thrown.
But until then, the rebelradiopodcast.com for all your Rebel Radio needs. This has been Mark.
This has been Matt.
This is Long.
Remember, as always, until we see you again, just go there and do it.